Welcome to In It to Win It. This is Steve Barton, and thank you for tuning in. We are here with Tara Christie, Banyan Gold out of the Yukon. Tara, thank you for coming back on the show.
Great to see you again.
Yes, go ahead and give us your elevator speech and tell us about Banyan Gold.
Well, Banyan's 7 million ounces, a road accessible project with already power on the property, cell phone service, amazing infrastructure in a first world jurisdiction where there are mines that are permitted. Yes, there's been some challenges in the last few years, but super exciting project. And we're just putting out our drill results here over the next month on our 2024 program. So far, they've been very exciting. Some higher grade holes, the 200 meters of 0.63, large intervals, 30, 40 meters of 1.92. I think we've really even maybe exceeded what our goal was of drilling out that zone, roughly getting 2 million ounces where we could find where you would mine first, which will form the basis for our PEA, which is going to come out the fourth quarter. We'll have a resource update here for Q2, and then we'll start drilling again May, June, which will give us news flow through the fall and even into 2026. So we're funded for that. It won't be a huge drill program, about 10,000 meters on the upper end, but lots of news flow because that PEA is really, I think, going to be what people are waiting for to demonstrate the economics of this project, which when you have mineralization starting on surface and these gold prices, particularly in Canadian dollars, we're almost at we're at $50 short to $4,000 Canadian gold. That is exceptional. So there are not very many projects that have the scale of resource that we have with tremendous upside potential. We've had one analyst say that he could see 15 million plus ounces. I back that back a bit to be a little more conservative and say, yeah, I can easily see that there's 10 million ounces plus here. We know the mineralization also goes to depth beyond that. We've drilled to 650 meters and it was mineralized all the way down. So this is a remarkable deposit. It is world-class, we believe. And I think one day, forward-looking statement, it'll be a mine.
Okay, all right. So 7 million, that's indicated, correct? Okay.
No, that's inferred.
Inferred.
And what we drilled this year was to convert the higher grade portion of it, which will probably be the areas you'd mine first, into indicated.
Okay. All right.
Not the whole deposit into indicated because you need a bit more drilling for that. But it's a proof of concept, and it's really improved our understanding of the geology and given us a lot more confidence, and will give those looking at the Yukon in our projects a lot more confidence in that resource.
Okay. All right. And tell us about, let me back up just a sec. What's your market cap, cash, and debt?
No debt. And I'm junior. I don't believe any junior should have debt. And I've been talking Canadian dollars, so you can convert divide by 1.5 these days.
Yeah.
About 60 million market cap.
Okay.
And we started this year with around 11 million Canadian in cash. So still pretty strong treasury going into next year. We've got a very low burn rate for our G&A. So most of that money goes into our drilling, our resource update. We've already spent most of the money that's required. So that's a pretty simple deposit. So that's not a very expensive thing. And same with our PEA. We've already done a tremendous amount of scoping study work. So with that money in the bank, we can achieve that in about 10,000 meters of drilling, plus have money to go into 2026.
Okay, and how much is it per meter?
About $300 per meter.
Okay, all right.
We also
want to do 10,000 meters.
10,000 meters, yeah. And we also have our revenue stream. Remember, we made $1.5 million last year. We don't count on that much. We count on about 700, and then beyond that's a bonus.
Okay, that's right. Tell us about your revenue stream.
Well, during COVID, we built excess infrastructure, and we're able to, if you build it, they will come. There's a little bit of that, the mantra. And so we've been able to fill that space with people who, wildfire, people fighting fires, other mining companies and exploration companies who, value that we've got tremendous infrastructure there, have rented it from us. We also, are creative. We can put bulldozers and water trucks onto various different projects because we have a lot of infrastructure and equipment at our site in a great location.
And you basically rent it out?
Rent it out.
Okay.
Do the services for them,
Okay.
To not have to put together your own camp, not have to provide your own cooks is a real value to other companies that don't have the long-standing relationships that we do have in the community to get the people.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. All right, and tell us about the team that you've built around Banyan Gold.
Well, this year we added to our board. We added Haley, who's another engineer who's worked as the running mines and just took on a new BP position at a mine. Tremendous experience to have real operating miners, along with our chairman, Mark Blythe, who assumed a non-executive chair position this year. He's got a tremendous amount of experience as frugal to this economic phase of Banyan and moving towards potential development. On the team, Kai, my VP of Project Development, has been really key, taking over the metallurgy and doing all the scoping study work, the baseline environmental work. We move towards our PEA. We've got some great advisors, Brad Frall on the metallurgy, Peter Wright, as well as Henry Marsden helping on the geology. He's ex-Yamana. It's bringing a whole new level of rigor and expertise to our team, and we're really set up for 2025. I'm pretty excited. We've got the geophysics that we did last year, which has really identified both some proximal as well as some more distal targets. And then, of course, while it's not really critical to us, we've got this huge deposit on surface. It's a secondary deposit. It's in the host rocks. Where's the source mineralization that Snowline's found in others? And that's also part of our potential exploration plans.
Okay. And what are some similarities with this project that you and your team have worked on before? What experience do you guys have that relates to the project that you have now?
Well, I've been working in gold all my life. So gold is even as a child, my father's a PhD geologist. So gold mining and exploration was just what we did. I spent my summer breaks out soil sampling rather than doing other things. So, understanding this deposit and a long history in the Yukon. James Tom, our exploration manager, he worked for my private company as well as he was helped out at Banyan for 7 years. We've brought in technical experts to help us, as well as, Kenzie and others who have lots of experience in these deposit types. So we think we're well set up for it, and certainly long history in gold.
Okay. As far as who owns your company? What big players do you have that are invested? How much you own? Give us a breakdown.
Well, first off, I'm a big shareholder, which I purchased in the market and in financing. So I've got over $2 million in cash, which gives me a 4% stake in the company. Our large institutional shareholders, and we do have quite a large institutional holding, the two largest being Fidelity at 9.8 and Franklin at just under 8. And then we have a large number of other institutions, almost 30% are other institutional or large high net worth individuals. Cisco Development has 2.6%. And then the one question people ask is, what about that 11% that's held by Victoria Gold? I'm really excited to see that move fairly soon into some hands, which I think will be great. I'm working on trying to facilitate that, along with the receiver, of course, is in charge of selling it. And I think that it would be great to see them in some strong hands to help us move forward.
Yeah, you guys got kind of dealt a bad hand when it came to Victoria Gold, just because your proximity to it.
We can see a path through the immediate things. We can control what's in our jurisdiction. There's external factors you can't control, but we certainly have a really strong strategy to get ourselves back to where we were, and certainly get re-rated back to where we should be. And I think things are clearing up as that situation resolves. We're working hard on our community relations, which is something I've had for a very long time with this community, as well as, I think you'll see that the Yukon is open for business. The Premier is attending the conferences here, other Yukon government officials, and really giving the message that, they want mining in the Yukon, and it's a pretty essential part of the economy.
Yeah. Okay. Scalability. So 7 million ounces. I think the big catalyst, correct me if I'm wrong, is going to be in Q4 when you get your preliminary economic assessment.
Yep.
You could see this going to 10 million ounces.
Yep.
Right. Talk to us a little bit more about scalability. What are some other catalysts in the works?
Well, certainly the drilling that we do this summer is going to be really focused on not necessarily adding ounces in the resource, but showing that scalability that this is a much larger deposit. We will test a few of the more distal targets and show that there's room for this resource to really expand. And any study, any 43-101 is a waypoint, right? It's until you've drilled the deposit out entirely, it is a waypoint. And the PEA as well will be a waypoint, an indication of the economics and potential economics. We think it'll be good, but it won't be all that we have, because what we plan to drill this year is really focused on showing that bigger picture. And when you get these types of deposits that have like the Marigolds, Fort Knox, they're mined for a very long time, because they're based on what was found first, which is not always the best. But it's what's found and developed and brought into resources in a study first. And then often they run for 30 or 40 years, particularly when you have this scale of deposit. And that's what really makes a deposit a tier 1 deposit, is one, it has to have the ability to have a production level, a total number of ounces that's interesting to a major to bother to even put in the capital. But then it needs to have that long life, because 10-year investments are no longer what large companies are looking for. They're looking for generational investments where they're investing in a community and they're there for a long time. So I think this project has that, and that's part of what we're going to demonstrate this year, is that it's got that bigger potential and an economic starting project to boot. So I'm pretty excited. We've got a clear strategy and we're funded for it. So puts us in a pretty unique space.
Okay. What other metals do you have there? You've got tons of gold. Literally. What the?
Gold. Our secondary project has gold and silver, but we're really focused on gold here. There is some potential for some of the Keno Hill style silver on our property. We haven't really chased after it because we don't want to be confusing the market. This is a gold project that's worthy without any other metals.
Okay.
It really... You got to stay focused. A lot of investors, when they see you going all over the place and trying to be the metal of the day, gold should be the metal of the day. Look at our fabulous prices that we have.
Yeah.
Yes, we haven't seen the juniors get love yet. We're still seeing the majors struggle a little bit with their costs and to get attention in the market. We did see them have some pretty good price gains. Eventually, M&A is going to have to come because they haven't replaced their reserves and resources. It's just a matter of being patient, and that's one of the reasons why we've got catalysts set up, but we've also been very careful with our treasury to make sure that we can really be positioned for when that market does change, and it's going to be the good companies and the good projects where it changes first.
Yeah. Okay. What is the biggest unanswered question that is facing Banyan Gold today?
Well, other than around the PA and the economics, it's probably where's your intrusion? And it's not one that we have to solve for this to be a great project, but it's certainly one that I'm curious about. We've got the signature, the geochemical signature of it, and understanding, and that's partly why we did the ZTEM survey last year, was to give us that idea, along with some of the technical work that we're doing on geochemistry and age dating and isotherms. So that's one of them. But really, I think it's the network as well, which will go into the PEA. How can you get that metallurgy up to make this project, give it that edge of, and then of course the question about the receiver selling that block, and we do know it's coming fairly soon. That should be a pretty major opportunity for us beyond then, because once that overhang is gone, I think that people will start to say, maybe I should invest. Maybe it's time to take a look at Banyan again.
Okay. And how much is the PEA? Is that paid for you?
Oh, it's pretty inexpensive because we've already run most of the models.
Okay.
So, you're looking at 300,000, 350 probably tops. We're just going out for contracts right now, but we've already run most of the scenarios and done some scoping studies, done some optimization. We've done the metallurgy. So, people quote PEA costs, but often it's all of that included, all the metallurgy, all the other stuff that they have to do. Ours is really just taking the new resource, which we'll have, and then rerunning a lot of our models because we've already done, and picking which model we're going to go with as our lead model. Is it going to be gravity CIL, or is it going to be gravity flotation? There's a key difference in will it be phased or will it be not? Those are kind of the key questions that we're grappling as we go into our PA.
Okay, but not more than 300K.
We've got lots of money for it.
Okay, awesome. Tara, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, check out Banyan Gold. And thank you for tuning in. Be sure to support the show and share this with anyone that you think needs to hear it. probably your buddy. They can't stop talking about tech stocks. You have yourself a great rest of the day, and we will talk to you next time.